So, what did you and Andy do over Memorial Day weekend?
We finally caught up on Bridgerton. It took a while because we had to stop a few times. Did you guys have any fun?
Yeah, the family and I drove down to the beach, picked up some waves. There were so many people there, it felt like we had to park a mile from the water. 9 different groups in earshot, all had music playing. It was an ADD nightmare. So Becky just sat in the car.
At least you got some fun in the sun. Thank God for a day off. What did you do, Bill?
I spent Memorial Day at the grave of my father, praying his soul finds some sort of peace in that 3x6 box they threw him into after breaking his back for this country for 35 years. Doesn't matter how far past the 100-degree mark these sad summer days burn. Every time I reach my hand up to that marble cross, they put his serial number on instead of his name. It's always ice cold.
Oh, damn. Sorry, man. I didn't really sound disrespectful.
Ain't no disrespect in living your life. Love your family. Pay your taxes. It's what Pappy fought for. Even when he had 3 bullets in him, and the medics were begging him to just lie down peaceable into the arms of the Reaper. But the 20 Koreans he had just killed were waiting for him on the other side of that obsidian gate, and he didn't have a thing to say to them. He ain't spent those 20 bullets saying. He just stuck a fist in each of the bullet holes, his foot in the third, and said, "So me back up, you sons of bitches. I'm just 3 bullets more pissed off."
Wow, that's a hell of a story.
Just how my pappy was.
He stuck his foot in the third?
You'd understand if you met the man.
Man, it sounds like he could have won the whole war himself.
We're in no war, ma'am. This was at a Panera Bread.
What?
It was 9:30 on a blustery August morning.
Oh, God.
And there ain't a thing in this world that man loved more than a Fuji apple salad. Not me, not my brother, not his country, not nothing.
Jesus, man.
And on this day, he had a man look across the counter through the empty mirrors of his eyes directly into his soul and tell him the last time God would allow him that earthly delight had been the day before. Only thing that could wash away pain like that is a passion fruit smoothie. But that machine had surrendered its soul to its own mechanical oblivion that very morning. My pappy weren't ready to hear that. My pappy were never ready to hear what he weren't ready to hear. Fact is, when my mama went into labor with me, it was November 3rd, a full 3 days before he'd finished hammering together a nursery for me with his bare hands. Well, he stuck his fist up inside my mama, told her to clench down until the sawdust fell, and God's own eyes will tell you. I was born on November 6th.
What the actual fuck?
Tore my umbilical cord in half with his bare hand, said, "Welcome to the world, son." Went down to the corner to build a church that very day.
Weren't there any doctors there to do that for him?
Well, my pappy always said, never trust no doctor to build a church.
Umbilical cord!
Well, ain't a man alive gets to look at his wife's frumulous bandersnatch. Not the doctors, not the TSA, not that gang of Yakuza assassins waiting for her in the bathroom that fateful night in Nagasaki. The only reason my brother and I got to pass through that velvet miracle portal was on the condition that we kept our eyes shut.
So, what happened at Panera Bread?
Tina, for fuck's sake.
Well, my pappy always said, you fight for something if you love it. The papers that day will tell you that before his curtain fell, my pappy got his Fuji apple salad. I can tell you myself, they weren't lying. If you met the man, you'd understand.
I somehow think I still wouldn't.
Each his own.
So Becky just waited in the car at the beach? I mean, I guess that's a way to skip the sunburn.
Yeah, that'll help you beat the heat.
Sun never beats down so hard as when it knows
No,
that
Bill, no. That's good. Thanks.
Suit yourself.
Kids, am I right? Hard to keep them occupied.
No kidding, bud. I couldn't do it without my wife. Bill, weren't you saying earlier you had to hire a babysitter?
Sure did.
Mine have been solid ever since I
He
started.
came to her on a hot summer's morning.
Damn it.
Oh, Jesus, Bill, we don't need
Quiet,
another.
I want to hear
A
this.
Lunchable in one hand and nothing short, south of his shirt except what his mother and I had given him on the day of his birth. He said, "Miss, I thank you for all the kind words you said to me and the sweet songs you sang when I scraped my knee and shed a coward's tear into your bosom. But on this day I become my own man, and I believe I'll be scheduling my own episodes of Paw Patrol from here on out. Never been so proud of them.
That's a really articulate kid. How old is he?
He'll be turning 24 years old, the first crystal golden sunrise this October.
Then what the hell was he doing Donald ducking it with his babysitter at your house?
I reckon they'd been having the intercourse. If you met my boy, you'd understand.
With the he still had a babysitter?
I reckon she'd been taking my $10 a night for the last 10 years with the understanding that there's not a soul alive who can still cook like my wife used to except for her. And this sentimental old fool wasn't ready to give that up.
Aw, that's actually kind of sweet.
My wife thought so. Saved for the trouble of having to cook.
So your wife's alive?
Nope. She died not long ago.
How did she die?
She got eaten by a bear.
Can you tell us what happened specifically?
Can't rightly say. I weren't there.
What was it like when you got told?
Well, the phone rang that day. I picked it up. And then they told me.
But I bet you had some pretty strong emotions at the funeral, right?
Weren't no funeral. I just went to my family. I told them. They shook my hand for support. That was that.
So they just shook your hand?
You'd understand if you met my family.
Wow, that's sweet. Did you at least get to say goodbye?
Reckon I did. In my own way. But before she set out that morning, she told me she was going to find the son of a bitch who got into the garbage bins the night before if it cost her her soul, her eyes, and the lives of our 4 beautiful children. She said she was going to get that son of a bitch, get his pelt, the one who made her spend an extra 15 minutes bagging up the trash, or she weren't never coming home that day. Last thing I saw of her before she stepped off the porch to her eternal reward, the shattered sword of her grandfather in her hand, and naked as a Barbie doll in his 5th year in the toy chest, to grab a handful of strawberries and stuff them right up her meat chimney as a prize in case she got sent to Valhalla that day. I imagine the bear appreciated the gesture. Lord knows she'd make him earn it.
Oh God, I have no idea where to start unpacking that.
The autopsy report suggested the bear knew exactly where to unpack that.
15 minutes of rebagging?
Weren't worth the time spent, ma'am. If you met my wife, you'd understand.
I guess the hell so. When was this?
This would be last Thursday. I'm sure you recall me asking Angela for an extra long lunch.
This didn't come up. This didn't come up when we asked you what you did last weekend.
With all due respect, ma'am, Thursday ain't the weekend.
Who even are you?
Well, I guess I should have expected this. My wife is a short woman and a bear don't like half a meal. Well, I guess this'll do. Y'all kindly ask Angela if I can have an extra long lunch today and apologize if I can't get the personnel packets done in case the bear's scheduled for a second win.
And then he stepped out to fight the bear for the honor of his wife. You'd understand if you'd met the man.
Sit the fuck down, John!